Hey everyone, what's going well? Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to address the truth about self-care, including the 4 common misconceptions, as well as the 6 types of self-care and how to practice them. Self-care is so much deeper than spa days, self-indulgence, or treating ourselves. It's about truly understanding what we need and being honest about what's going to make us the healthiest and the happiest in the long run. To put it simply, self-care means taking care of your future self, not just your present. It's meant to encourage us to maintain a healthy relationship with ourselves so we show up in the world as the best possible version of ourselves. One common misconception is that self-care is selfish, or it means having to make a choice between yourself and others. Maybe you're a parent and you feel in order to be a good one, you need to dedicate all of your time and energy to your kids. Or you're a spouse and you do everything to make sure your partner is happy. Or you're a workaholic who puts your career above everything else. Whatever the case may be, if you don't take the time to take proper care of yourself, not only are you perpetuating a cycle of deprivation and depletion, but chances are you're also doing a disservice to your loved ones and peers. As the overused saying goes, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you take care of yourself, you get to offer the most inspired and well-nourished version of yourself to others. They don't need a tired, cranky, depleted version of you. They need a happy one. From an early age, we're conditioned to value hard work with an emphasis on education, career, family, and we're taught to look forward to retirement. This feeds into the notion that we can enjoy life or take care of ourselves only when milestones are hit or goals are met, which can often leave us in a perpetual state of dissatisfaction of where we are in certain phases of our lives. Yet, when we prioritize proper self-care, it's what gives us the energy we need to achieve great things and allows us to enjoy life more at any stage. Often people don't prioritize self-care because they believe that they don't have enough time or they don't have enough money. But good news, self-care isn't all or nothing. You don't need an entire day of pampering or to even spend money at all. Massages, travel, manicures, gym memberships are all great, but they aren't required steps to strengthening your mental health. Self-care can honestly be something as basic as making sure you're drinking enough water or even 10 minutes of meditation. When we try to de-stress and unwind, how often do we tend to overindulge? Whether that be on food, TV, alcohol, or even online shopping. Even if these habits do help soothe us in the moment, this is actually considered the opposite of self-care. Self-care needs to support our health and our wellness and shouldn't be addictive, compulsive, or harmful to ourselves or our bank account. Which brings us to the 6 types of self-care. Emotional self-care is about honoring your feelings and allowing yourself to process and reflect. Your emotions can help you navigate what is currently happening in your life and also help you identify and understand certain triggers. By understanding our triggers, we can work on our emotional responses to certain situations and learn how to respond in a way that is healthy and beneficial to our growth. Another important factor to consider when practicing emotional self-care is to have boundaries set in place. This means keeping others' emotions from invading your space and being able to recognize others' emotions being separate from your own, especially if you're an empath and you're highly sensitive to others' emotions. A few ways to practice emotional self-care is by learning how to say yes to yourself and your needs, doing daily mindfulness practices, tapping into your creativity and taking time to play and create, or even journaling. And those are just to name a few. Practical self care is about setting yourself up for success and trying to prevent any future stressful situations. This can look like creating a budget for yourself to prevent overspending, meal planning, or even organizing your closet. As a health coach, one of the first action steps I always give my clients is to declutter, whether that be their fridge, their schedule, their social media, or even their budget. It's a great first step to taking control and move forward with more intention that allows you to make space for better systems to be put in place and help set you up for success. Physical self care is about, guess what? Your physical health. This includes movement, staying hydrated, and making sure you're getting enough rest. I feel we often associate physical health by having a solid workout routine put in place, going to the gym, and possibly even associate it with pain, meaning no pain, no gain. And maybe that thought even prevents you from working out at all. If this sounds like you and you're having trouble establishing a workout routine, that is completely okay. Incorporating more movement in your physical self care routine doesn't have to be hard. Honestly, it should feel good to you and it should be fun. More movement can look like rollerblading, dancing, yoga, swimming, or even walking. The list goes on. It's about finding that thing that works for you and your schedule and your body. We're all different. Mental self care is about stimulating your mind and your intellect. How often do you challenge and expand your current worldview or acknowledge other realities other than your own? A few mental self care practices can look like reading a book, listening to podcasts, learning a new skill or hobby, or even visiting a museum. Social self care is about nurturing and deepening your relationship with loved ones. Yes, even my fellow introverts, as much as we love our solitude and boundaries, it's so important to maintain connections with our fellow humans. Make time to socialize in whatever way feels most comfortable and natural to you. This can look like meeting up for lunch, having a date night, or even a scheduled Zoom call from the comfort of your own home. Just keep in mind whether certain interactions are uplifting and fulfilling you or if they're draining you. If it's the latter, then. And finally, spiritual self care is about nurturing your spirit and allowing you to think bigger than yourself. This 100% does not need to be religious. I myself don't personally subscribe to any religion, but I do consider myself to be very spiritual. But for some of you, maybe it is religious, and that's okay too. For those, spiritual self care may be attending places of worship, but it can also look like spending time in nature, practicing yoga or meditation, creating anything that inspires you or lights you up, or even engaging in a heartfelt cause that you care deeply about. Whatever action it takes to deepen your connection with your higher self. Spiritual self care can bring more meaning into our lives and honestly let in more magic. Connecting with our spiritual self is to connect with our most authentic self, free of ego and programming, and it allows us to appreciate life and all of its complexities. All right, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, bye. Stop in the name of love.